Hey there, it's Ian Kodiak, and I'm coming to you live from beautiful Santa Barbara, where I took my wife for her 40th birthday. And today's video, I want to talk about one of the shortest paths you can take to success, and that's through getting a mentor who has done it before. So just to give you a little backdrop, when I started Salesforce 8.5 years ago, I did not know what I was doing. I had no software experience, but I found out there was a woman, Heather Venegas, who had been absolutely killing it. And one of the top reps year over year. And the first thing I made sure to do before I even started was reach out to her and see if I can get lunch with her. Now, she happened to be located near me, but that certainly shouldn't stop you, whether or not it's in person or virtual. But with Heather, I tracked her down, and remember, it took probably 2 or 3 reach outs via phone and email before she agreed to have a meeting. But I said, look, I'll take you to your favorite restaurant. So we met at her favorite restaurant, we went for lunch, and basically just picked her brain on what it would take to ramp up in Salesforce. That year, my first year, I finished over 100% of plan. And I think a big part of it was I tried to follow her playbook. Then I got a little arrogant and I stopped having a mentor, and I actually ended up missing my plan a few years in a row. And then I said, you know what, this isn't working again. So I actually join a program. So a mentor could be an individual you meet with regularly, or it can be a group mastermind or a coach or something you pay for. So I decided to pay for a program called Epic Impact. I ended up paying $50,000 over a couple years for my own coaching, and they coach the best of the best, top CEOs, top sales performers, and top leaders. And I joined there, and I got mentorship from a guy named Ben Skemper, who became my coach. And that year I finished #1 at Salesforce. In addition to Ben, I also found the top AE in the division I was in. It was called, Brian Moore was his name, and he had consistently been one of the top performers. And I said, Brian, can we meet every couple of weeks, man? I love what you've done. I love your consistency, and I really would love to learn from you. So people might be wondering, well, how do I go out to get a mentor? And the easiest path is simply to ask. But when you ask, flattery is very important. Explain, that you've taken note of what they've done, that you're super impressed with their consistency or whatever it is that you're impressed with, and then, talk about, just being able to meet with them and be able to, get their thoughts on what, they do really well. Another guy who mentored me was Matt Rule. I met with Matt. He was a consistent performer as well at Salesforce, and I met him, drove an hour to Thousand Oaks to meet with him, took him out to a nice lunch, and basically spent an hour and a half with me. And a couple meetings, he gave me kind of secrets to his success. So most people are reluctant to kind of reach out to the best of the best. They don't want to think they're going to waste their time, but you're not wasting their time. People like to give back, and you just kind of have to be persistent. I always like to take them out to lunch or do something nice for them. Fast forward a few years, I started coaching business. I decided to join a mastermind for coaching called Brand Builders Group, and I got mentorship from Roy Vaden, who I met years ago, and he basically helped people like Lewis Howes and Kevin Harrington and some pretty big names become very, very successful in terms of building their brand. So I joined his program, paid him, and had help along the way. So I think a lot of times we get arrogant, we think we know what we're doing, but that's just foolish. Find out from people who are the best of the best and get help from them. Even right now, I've had my coaching business for 2 years. I'm trying to take it up the next level and really scale it and build a group coaching program. So I reach out to a guy named Marcus Chan. And Marcus, not only Marcus, I also reached out to John Barrows and Scott Leese, and all these guys met with me because I took the time to really personalize my message, tailor why I wanted to, meet with them. And, most people are nice when you really do take the time and explain that you're looking to get better and you look up to them as a top-notch example. And so anyway, I'm working now with Marcus Chan. We are, text messaging on a regular basis. He took a few calls with me and is kind of helping me guide my group coaching program. And it really does help you literally accelerate years and years of learning on your own versus having somebody who's ahead of you that's doing it or has done it before, that can guide you and tell you what to do or what not to do based on their mistakes. So for those of you guys who are looking for help in what you're trying to do, reach no further than look for the best person at your company who's done it before. If you can't find that, there's coaching programs available. I have a coaching program. There's other folks that do group coaching. I've sent people to Marcus's program. The reality is that you have to get help, because if what you're doing is not working for you, then why keep doing it? That's the definition of insanity. So even myself, I had to get to a point where I misquoted 3 years in a row before I seeked help, and that's something I just won't do anymore. I'm not going to waste years and years trying to figure it out when there's people who are willing and able to help. So get a mentor, get somebody who can help you get there and accelerate the learning curve. I'm Ian Koniak. Thanks for listening. Take care.